Temgo, I'm not sure if it's French or what. I'm sure it's Chinese. Self-heating function in the battery, 12.8 volt, 460 amp hours. What do we got over here that's interesting? 5,888 watt hours. Charge voltage 14.2 to 14.6, that's what we used. Maximum charge current, this is crazy. This is more than most electric vehicles will take. 300 amp hours charging current. Max discharge current, 300 amps. I said amp hours, I meant amps. Work with me here. Don't get it wet. Don't get it caught in fire. Read your owner's manual, all that safety stuff. I had to break out the big guns here with the 40 amp charger from Power Queen to get this big battery charged up, and the screen is still pretty cool. I like having this type of battery stats just ready. It takes a little bit for it to boot up and gather the data, but then you got it. 100% charged, zero current going in, 14.15 resting voltage. Temperature in here with the battery is 67.6 hours, and with no load, this thing will last. That's the maximum numbers you can put in there. It's not actually true. There's just no load, so it's going to last forever, of course. Page 2 on the touch screen here, which is pretty cool. Discharge is on, charge is on, one cycle like I told you before, 460 amp hours, status is normal, no alerts, no nothing, no BMS sat, I don't know what that means yet. And then page 3 shows all of our cells are really close to each other, 35 something millivolts, 3541, 3536, 3531, and it's going to keep changing, but having those first two digits in sync means that we are good to go. The next thing I need to do is get it on my battery discharge device, my DC load here. That's going to pull 10 amps out of that for as long as it takes to get that battery to shut down. And then we'll have a note to know, is it 460 amp hours? Is it 212 amp hours? Are they lying to us? Are they telling the truth? Are we blown away that instead of 460, it's actually 480 amp hours? We're going to find out. We're going to put the battery to the test. And we're starting off with 0 in the capacity down here at the bottom. We are set for 10 amp hours and the battery is providing 14.14 volts. Let's hit the go button. And the timer starts. And what this guy here does is it takes power from the battery and converts it into heat in the room, and we use this fan to keep the device inside cool. And it works to seek 10 amps current draw at all times. So let's take a look at what this control panel has to say about that discharging. Minus 9.9 amps, 13.78 voltage, a little bit of sag. That makes sense because there's a load on it. And now it's going to last me 48 hours and 38 minutes. And it's a 460 amp hour battery, so it's already trying to tell me it's going to be doing better than the 460 on the label. We'll see when it's done. 460 amp hours in the battery, 46 hours on the clock. I'll be back and show you what the finish up looks like. It'll be a couple of days for me, but for you it'll be like that. So here is some interesting information. This is the front control panel on the battery, and it's telling me that we're pulling out minus 10.1, minus 9.9. They're both going to fight all day long to stay at 10 amps. 13.76 voltage, a little bit of sag under load. That makes perfect sense. 67.4 temp in the battery. It's still nice and cool in here. It's a 460 amp hour battery, and even the internal BMS thinks that it's going to put out more than 460 amp hours. That's 485 amp hours on the label there at this current draw rate. So 485 is a lot better than 460. All right, I got some notes here on, let's talk about running an air conditioner off of solar panels and this battery, 460 amp hours. Most of your 120 volt ACs, air conditioners running on alternating current, are about 1500 watts inside of an RV. 1800 watts max peak hottest time of the summer, which is, you got an RV. Why are you spending the hottest time of the summer with your air conditioners running full blast indoors? Go somewhere where it's cooler. Okay, I've got 400 watts of solar on the roof. I've got a 30 amp charger over my shoulder here. I have a 12 volt, 3000 watt inverter sitting here. In order to run a 12 volt, 3000 watt inverter, I'm gonna need 250 amps continuous discharge with 0 overhead. So I really want 260, 270, 280. This battery delivers 300, so we're off to a good start there. I want to have a soft start in the air conditioner so that the initial startup surge doesn't freak out my inverter sitting over here. And then I do have some other stuff that I want to do, but let's just talk about the air conditioner. With no solar, 1500 watts, this air conditioner is going to run you 3.2 hours, give or take. You know, your mileage may vary, more sun, more heat, less sun, more clouds, whatever the case may be. Now, let's add the solar. What do we get? about an extra hour. So 4.5 hours-ish. 4.25 hours to be a little more safe. That's not terrible, but then your battery's dead and you're heading into darkness. So use your air conditioner wisely, or like I said, go camp somewhere where you don't need it. And then you can probably camp for an entire week using hardly any electricity at all. I love how it's giving me this big alert at 20% discharging. Oh my God, worry, worry, worry. And it's got 10 hours left of charge in it at 10 amps per draw. That's crazy. Recharge battery. No, I won't. You're going to die. I've also got some notes on running this at a repeater tower. Same thing, about 400 watts worth of solar on the roof. We're going to have an MPPT charge controller, which might be a little bit noisy. We're going to have a DC to DC converter because your charge controller is going to put out 14 something volts and your repeater might not be able to handle it. Check your specs on your repeater. If it can, then get rid of that DC to DC converter, save the RFI, and save the dollars for some other club activity. And then we're going to shove it into a repeater, and I'm going to give you a couple of different duty cycles for it. Let's assume it's a 50 watt repeater, and we're doing about 200 watts power draw on transmit and about 25 watts on receive. So a busy but polite repeater. Battery only runtime, I've got it written down here, 84 hours, 3.5 days on this battery with no sunlight, no nothing. So that's fantastic. Case B, popular machine, 40% utilization. The case A was 20%, now we're at 40%. Same wattage calculations, everything, it's just busier. And we're looking at about 54 hours of runtime, or 2.33 days, 2.3 days. And then case C, this baby's getting hammered. 60% transmit, same overall numbers. We're looking at about 1.5 days, no solar. Now we're gonna add the solar. Let's assume that we're in the winter time, so there's not a whole lot of daylight in the first place. You're getting about 4 good hours of sunlight a day. So case A, wow, these numbers change. Case A, polite repeater, what did I say, 20% utilization? Never gonna bat an eye, never gonna be without power. Not gonna happen. Case B is 40%, and we're looking at 5.3 days of runtime in worst case scenario. And then case C was 60% utilization, about 69 hours. Almost 3 full days of utilization. So you're getting about an extra half a day out of that. And then case B with the solar panels really helps out. You're getting almost twice as much runtime out of it. We hit 462 amp hours there. Just reminding y'all, it's a 460 amp hour battery. We're already 2 over. And it's telling me I still have 2 hours left at 10 amps current draw. Sweet. Connect error. What? Up in the upper corner there. I was getting ready to tell you, this thing was zeroed out and it hit its 10 volt cutoff. Right now it's showing 0 volts, so it's got just enough juice left in it to run the screen, and it seems like it's having some trouble connecting to the batteries. Let's go give it another jolt from the battery tester here. Before we do that though, it's a 460 amp hour battery. We pulled 475.5 amps hours out of that battery. That is amazing. We're still set at 10, we're showing 4 volts. If I hit the go button, it's gonna try. And we're seeing 10 volts. Like I said, that's the battery cutout. And now if we look down here, I can see recharge battery, 0%. We're pulling 10 amps out at 10 volts and no time left. And it'll shut off any second now. But we got rid of that connection error now that we've kind of woken it up. This thing also has a Bluetooth app. And in the app, I can see the capacity, 118.2 amp hours that are available out of 460 amp hours, because we've got 25% of a charge in there right now. And then I can get some more information here, charging and discharging. It's not doing either of those two, so it can't give me an estimate. Balancing is off because the battery's not full and in the balance state. Protection is normal, perfect. Total voltage, 13.2. Total power, there's no power being drawn. Total current, there's no current being drawn. Cycle count is 2, that is absolutely correct. And then it's telling me the balancing of the cells, the temperature internally, and then the individual voltage on the cells. Sweet. So I'd say that is a flying pass. And there's a little bit of a backstory on this. We lost power in the RV park here where I'm doing the testing on this battery. And what that means is this guy here, the load tester, the screen, the computer in it is run from this power cable here. So there's no parasitic draw from the battery to power the device that's measuring the device, the whole Heisenberg uncertainty principle thing. And so the whole test shut down like 37 hours into a 46-hour test. And I was like, I do not want to recharge this battery. I do not want to start the discharge cycle again. It's going to take another 4 to 5 days to get through this cycle. So I figured with only a couple hours left to go on the test, I might as well finish it up. So I finished it up. There might actually be more power in that battery, but I was thinking we were already going to be over the 460 amp rated capacity, 460 amp hour rated capacity, and we were. So 475 could be a little more in there, but I'm really happy at 15.5 amps extra capacity in the battery right from the factory. That's going to help out with some of the aging stuff down the road. As batteries get older, they start to have less and less and less capacity. And by older, I mean, you know, like 5 years older. This thing, I don't know the exact number of cycles, but if you think of a battery that's got 5,000 cycles in it, that's full charge, full discharge, full charge, full discharge. You know, that's what a cycle is. Not, you know, pull a little bit off, put a little bit back in. It's all the way up, all the way down is your cycle. It's like 13 years. I don't know where I'm going to be in 13 years, but I'm pretty sure battery technology is going to be a little bit farther. So this thing is definitely going to last a long time. And because it has that extra cushion in there, it's going to last a little bit longer. And she's still trying to pump out some juice. I mean, again, it's only down to 9.6 volts right now. And we've gotten another almost half an amp hour out of it. 476. Just hit half an amp hour extra out of the battery. So 476 amp hours now. There's some stuff you can do down at 10 volts. There's not a lot, but I mean, I'm not trying to start a car here. I'm trying to like pull the slide in on the RV. It'll be a little bit slower, but this thing, by the time it gets down that far, I have been seriously negligent in my duties of topping it off, and we haven't seen sun for probably a month or so at that point. Like this, in an RV space where I'm staying, there we go, battery's done again. I've got my 12 volt fridge, which is going to pull 10 amps when the compressor is running. I've got my propane furnace, which is going to pull 10 amps when the fans are running. And then it's just lights. You know, there's not a whole heck of a lot. The inverter over here to run the TVs, that barely does anything. I mean, the worst case scenario on something like this is going to be cooking coffee. Use your propane for that. Cooking coffee. Brewing coffee. Use your propane for that. Or microwave. You can use your propane for that. You really can live without a coffee maker and a microwave in a camper and still get by. Now, this being a ham radio channel, I can also run my entire ham radio station, which is where I'm sitting right now. 100-watt transmitter, amplifier, computers, digital mode software decoding, second radio to do a couple of different modes at the exact same time. This is great for a repeater site where I want it to be up for a while, and definitely I want it to last, you know, like we get so many days of no sun during the year. Well, we're going to handle it with this big old battery. I'll leave links in the description down below where you can get some more information on this battery. And I'll leave a video right over here that you might enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.